Warm greetings from the High 10. This is Everyday Shenanigans, and thanks for joining me. There's information I would like to bring to you. This is a compilation video. I have a lot of updates to bring to you, but there's said information. New York Times is one source. Thousands of Haitians are going to be allowed to stay in the U.S. as the Texas camp clears out. Another source will be USA Today, and this is pertaining to the horse patrols that are temporarily suspended at the Haitian migrant camp in Del Rio, Texas. I'm sure many of you saw the photographs of the men on horseback with whips, which brings a not too familiar rendition of slavery days that transpired here in America many moons ago with African American people. Not a great look, but I will bring you the said commentary. Amid a probe into the use of agents on horseback, the Department of Homeland Security has temporarily stopped using horse patrols at the Del Rio border. The Biden administration continued to face questions on Thursday about its handling of a surge of Haitian migrants crossing the southern border, even after temporarily suspending horse patrols in the area. Images of horseback patrols pursuing Haitians spread earlier this week, drawing outrage from Republicans and Democrats in the Congress as well as the White House. On Thursday, both the Department of Homeland Security and White House confirmed those patrols had been stopped for the time being. Okay. Also Thursday, DHS officials said about 7,000 migrants remain in Del Rio, down from a peak of about 15,000 on September 18th. Migrants had been removed to other sectors for processing, sent back to Haiti, and in some cases turned back to Mexico. The Department of Homeland Security issued a statement Thursday on the update of the information of repatriation flights. On Thursday, September 23rd, 2021, the Department of Homeland Security conducted 2 repatriation flights from Del Rio, Texas to Port-au-Prince, Haiti, and 3 flights from Del Rio, Texas to Cap Haitian, Haiti, with a total of 540 Haitian nationals on board. These flights will continue on a regular basis. Since Sunday, September 19th, 17 flights have left the United States, and 1,949 Haitian nationals have been returned to Haiti. 3,901 Haitian nationals have been moved from the Del Rio camp to CBP custody or to other sectors of the United States border to either be expelled via Title 42 if possible or placed into removal proceedings. There remain approximately 3,100 migrants to the Del Rio sector. And that is the said information if you need verification. USA Today. So we have this sector situation going on, which I don't know if that's a process situation. Some have remained and some have been flown back to Haiti. USA Today is the source. My next source is pertaining to Derek Chauvin. As they say, what is it? A fool has a I can't even word it properly. You're a fool if you decide to represent yourself in a court of law. We'll cut to the chase. KTTC is the information. Chauvin is to represent himself in appeal, court documents show. Derek Chauvin is acting as his own attorney in the motion to appeal his conviction and sentence according to court documents. The former Minneapolis police officer convicted in the murder of George Floyd's death says the judge abused his discretion or erred during several key points of the case. Derek Chauvin said he intends to appeal on 14 grounds. Among them, he claims Judge Peter Cahill abused his discretion when he denied Chauvin's request to move the trial out of Hennepin County due to pre-trial publicity. Chauvin was convicted earlier this year on state charges of second-degree unintentional murder, third-degree murder, and second-degree manslaughter in Floyd's 2020 death. He was sentenced to 22 and a half years. KTTC is the source. First of all, fool. You need the man on the neck for almost 9 minutes in front of witnesses, in front of a child. You did that. Other comrades, police officers, aided you, didn't do anything, didn't stop it. And now, a few of them are also going to be attending court for aiding and abetting you in this said death of George Floyd murder. of George Floyd. And now you want to represent yourself in an appeal basically by saying the judge didn't allow you to get a chance to go to court in another jurisdiction. Honey, where did you think you were going to have this trial take place where no one knew of you and the murder of George Floyd? Oh, wait. Everyone in America and abroad heard of this trial. So I'm trying to figure out what jurisdiction did you think you were going to have a trial where no one had heard of this said information of you killing this man in public, in front of witnesses. So you want to represent yourself? That lets me know that you are ornery, you are narcissistic, and you are that fella that killed George Floyd. And even now, you're trying to spin the wheels in your favor that someone has done you wrong by now allowing your trial to take place in another jurisdiction than Minneapolis. Am I hearing this correctly? Okay. Anyway, good luck with that. My next information is pertaining to the murder of Ahmaud Arbery. The Atlanta Journal-Constitution is the source. Ahmaud Arbery's murder trial is to take place on October 18th. The Ahmaud Arbery murder trial is set to begin on October 18th. The judge decided Wednesday during a conference call. Superior Court Judge Timothy Walmsley, who was presiding over the case, said the trial will proceed as scheduled unless COVID-19 levels soar once again in the Glenn County, said defense attorney Bob Rubin, who participated in the call. Just a few weeks ago, Glenn was one of the worst counties in the nation in terms of COVID-19 infections and transmissions, but the numbers of cases there have been gradually decreasing. Arbery, an unarmed 25-year-old black man, unarmed, was shot and killed in the Satilla Shores neighborhood just outside coastal Brunswick on February 23, 2020. 3 men, all of whom are white, will stand trial for murder and other charges. Travis McMichael, who shot and killed Arbery, his father, Greg McMichael, a former investigator in the local district attorney's office, and William Roddy Bryan, a neighbor, who decided after the fact to turn in said information pertaining to the murder of Mr. Arbery, but you stood idly by because your friend came and got you, Mr. Roddy, and you didn't have any problems with going along with watching this heinous death, the murder of a man. And then after the fact, when you realized what was going down, then you decided to pretend to be the Captain Save-A-Ho and be a good Samaritan. Well, you see, it doesn't work like that. Greg McMichael and his son, who were both armed, chased Arbery and Travis McMichael's pickup truck through the Satilla Shores neighborhood. Brian soon joined in the chase in his pickup and took the infamous cell phone video that showed Arbery being hemmed in and then charging at Travis McMichael, who killed Arbery with 3 gunshot blasts. The McMichaels and Brian contend they were making a valid citizen's arrest because they believe Arbery had burglarized a home under construction and was fleeing. Prosecutors say no citizen's arrest was justified, and they note Arbery, who was running through the neighborhood, had no stolen items in his possession when he was killed. The upcoming trial is expected to receive national attention. And that's the said information. Atlanta Journal-Constitution is the source. Sorry about that discrepancy. October 18th, that trial will start, and they're all guilty because they see a black man running through who was I believe didn't even have a shirt on. So what did he have? What was he stealing? Nothing. He didn't have anything. And just because somebody stands outside one day and looks at property, so what? Anybody can look at a house with things in it, not in it, being built, unbuilt. Doesn't mean you're committing a crime. That's the said information. And I am also information I saw pertaining to past situations pertaining to his past. I don't know if they're going to be entered into evidence, but we will see how that goes. But anyway, that is from the Atlanta Journal-Constitution. The trial of these 3 men for the murder of Ahmaud Arbery will started on October 18th. And that is the sad information. I want to bring you said commentary pertaining to the heinous shooting that took place in Collierville, Tennessee. News 3 is the source. WREG Memphis, CBS. Gunmen identified in Kroger shooting, victims now up to 15. The alleged shooter at the Collierville Kroger has been identified as 29-year-old Thang. The number of victims shot in the Collierville Kroger shooting is now up to 15. Police Chief Dale Lane said Friday they are stable, Lane said. Thursday night, police executed a search warrant at 885 Federal Ridge Road in Collierville, which Lane said was the suspect's residence. Evidence taken from that residence is being processed, and one person was questioned. Lane said the identity of the suspected shooter is known and would be revealed soon, but that person would not be named in the Friday morning press conference. He was a third-party vendor working at the Kroger, Lane said. Lane said the shooter took his own life as law enforcement was pulling up to the scene. There is one confirmed death in the shooting. Police confirmed her name was Olivia King. She is one of the 15 victims, Lane said. 10 of the victims were employees of Kroger and 5 were customers, Lane said. My heart's broken for the victims here, he said. Lane also confirmed that a vehicle searched in the Kroger parking lot believed to belong to the shooter had tags from Davidson County, Tennessee. Lane would not comment on any possible Nashville area connection. Collierville Fire Department Chief Buddy Billings said the department had purchased ballistic gear 3 years ago and began training for a situation like this. He credited that training and equipment with saving lives. People will reflect back and say, where were you when the Kroger shooting happened? Collierville Mayor Stan Joyner said. Kroger released a new statement on the incident Friday saying they are continuing to pray for the employees while the store remains closed. We are horrified and heartbroken over the senseless violence that occurred yesterday at the Kroger store located in on New Byhalia Road in Collierville, Tennessee, resulting in the death of one customer as well as the assailant and injuries to several other individuals, including 10 of our associates and 5 customers. In the hours since the shooting, we're learning of the truly heroic acts that included responders selflessly helping to protect and save others. We will remain forever grateful to the first responders who so bravely responded to protect our associates and customers. The entire Kroger family offers our thoughts, prayers, and support to those impacted by this tragedy, including our associates, customers, first responders, and their families. The store will remain closed while law enforcement completes their investigation. We are continuing to provide our associates with pay as well as support through our Helping Hands Fund. We've also initiated counseling services for our associates. Lastly, to protect the integrity of the ongoing investigation, we continue to refer questions to the Collierville Police Department, but can confirm the identified suspect was a third-party vendor. So that means he was not a direct employee of Kroger, if indeed you had heard that he was a vendor for the said Kroger store. News 3 is the source. So the suspect has been identified, and his name is Thang. That's UK and Thang, a 29-year-old male. What was going on with him? What happened? There's a rumor that he was fired. So I don't know how he could be fired if he was a third-party vendor. That means someone on the up would have had to fire him. And I don't think they would have fired him on the spot right there in front of other people. Do you understand what I'm saying? I believe that they would have called him in, or the company he worked for would have fired him. So I don't know what actually happened, but News 3 is the source. And now I will bring you more information pertaining to that deadly shooting that took place in Collierville. USA Today is the source. Woman who died in Tennessee Kroger shooting identified gunman was third-party vendor police say. Police on Friday said the gunman in the shooting at a Kroger grocery store that killed one and injured 14 others was a third-party vendor at Kroger who died from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. They also identified the woman who died in the shooting as Olivia King. Friends told the Memphis Commercial Appeal, part of the USA Today network, that King was a longtime resident of the area. She was just sweet, King's longtime friend David Frazier said. Kind, polite, thoughtful, added friend Maureen Frazier, standing beside him Thursday on the sidewalk near the blocked-off Kroger grocery store. The Frazier said they had known King for years. She was from San Antonio and was widowed with 3 sons, one in the Navy, one in the Air Force, and one who had just earned a doctorate, they said. They said she attended Catholic Mass nearly every day and had previously worked as a financial secretary at a local school. Police Chief Dale Lane said Friday that officials are getting a clearer picture of what occurred, but did not confirm the shooter's motive. The suspect, who was found dead at the back of the store, was identified as Oak Thane, 29. Of the 15 people who were shot, 10 were Kroger employees, 5 were customers. Thankfully, our prayers were answered. We didn't lose anybody overnight, Lane said. There's still some people battling, so continue to pray for them as well. On the front lawn of Collierville's town hall, around 100 locals gathered Friday to pray and mourn. Pastors, Rabbi, Collierville mayor, and the town's board of aldermen spoke from the entrance under letters spelling out Collierville. As prayers concluded, 2 women who were in the Kroger shopping at the time of the shooting took to the microphone to express their gratitude for the town's support. The 2 women, Sarah Wiles and Holly Skaggs, were strangers prior to the shooting, but have become close friends since the tragedy. It's been a trying few years, Skaggs said. Few hours, sorry about that. Skaggs said it between tears to the crowd. I didn't know it before, but I do now. I told Wiles when we came out that she's my guardian angel. I'm just grateful to her. We ran, we hid, we heard everything. The gunman acted alone and worked as a third-party vendor for Kroger, Lane said. Lane declined to name the gunman during a media briefing, saying he didn't want to give him notoriety, but police later confirmed the shooter's identity. Kroger also confirmed the shooter was a third-party vendor. In the hours since the shooting, we're learning of truly heroic acts that included associates, customers, and first responders selflessly helping to protect and save others. Kroger said in a Friday statement, "We will remain forever grateful to the first responders who so bravely responded to protect our associates and customers. The store will remain closed during the police investigation, though workers are still being paid." Lane said the gunman had previous minor charges, Lane said, but did not specify. The shooting started at 1:30 p.m. CDT Thursday at the Kroger in Collierville, about 30 miles east of Memphis. Police said they were immediately on scene and officers began making their way into the store to respond to what Lane called the most horrific event that occurred in Collierville's history. Local and federal law enforcement agencies responded. Dozens of patrol cars, 2 tactical unit vehicles, and ambulances in neighboring counties were on the scene by 2 p.m. Our guys did not hesitate 1 minute, Collierville Fire Department Chief Buddy Billings said. He added, "I've been in fire service for 44 years. I've never been so proud of a group of people in my life in my whole career. Workers hid in freezers and hunkered down in locked offices. One store employee was rescued from the roof. Witnesses, both shoppers, employees who trickled out of Kroger on Thursday, described hearing what they thought were balloons popping before the reality of the situation became clear. Police escorted a crowd of roughly 40 to the center of the parking lot to take statements. Outside of the crime scene tape, family members of shoppers and workers waited to find their loved ones. Brignetta Dickerson, an employee of more than 3 years, led a group of employees and customers toward safety by weaving through the store with the shooter not far behind her. And I brought you commentary pertaining to her, what she said on that fateful afternoon. "I've been through everything," she said Thursday afternoon. "This right here took the cake." Kroger issued a statement Thursday expressing sorrow for the employees and customers affected, as well as gratitude for the first responders. Kroger, which has nearly 2,800 stores nationwide, has attempted in recent years to minimize potential gun violence in its stores. In 2019, the chain announced it would prohibit the open carry of firearms in its stores. It's the country's largest supermarket chain in terms of revenue. This event marks the second mass shooting in a year at one of the company's stores. In late March, a gunman opened fire at King Superstore in Boulder, Colorado, killing 10 people. King Supers is part of the Kroger company, and I did not know that. Contributing is Janine Santucci, USA Today. And this article is originally appeared on the Memphis Commercial Appeal. And so USA Today is the source for this information. I did not know that store in Boulder, Colorado is one of the, I guess what you could say, sister store of Kroger. Horrific event. Suspect killed himself. 29-year-old male has prior infractions on his criminal background. Do not know what they are, but I'm sure in time we will hear what they are. What is the motive? A motive has not been revealed. Why he did this? Who knows? And in the end, it doesn't matter. He took a life and he injured others. And by the grace of God, these other people are sustaining life in the said hospitals, and some have been released. This is horrific. You do not know the minds of people. Can't trust people. And this is what's so sad. You go about your daily lives and you're praying. You walk out the door. Everything's going to be okay. You're going to go about your business, come back home. But many people do not make it home for so many various reasons. And this is one of those reasons. A woman now did not go home because someone was angry, mad at the world, mad at somebody, and decided to wreak havoc and shoot these people. And then he took his own life. Prayers for the victim, the victim's family, all the other people who were injured. Prayers for them. Prayers for the family, the community, the Kroger brand. Prayers for Collierville, Tennessee. I want to thank you all for joining me. If you want to donate to the channel, $Big Angie 129 Cash App. When I get another update, I will bring it to you. But these are the said updates to stories I have brought you on the network. And I will come back with another live video pertaining to Miss Petito and Brian Laundrie. More shenanigans going on there and things that we haven't heard. We will chop it up and see where this case leads. But prayers for the Petito family, prayers for Collierville, prayers for the Ahmaud Arbery family, prayers for those trying to migrate to the country and could not successfully make it. Prayers for those people from Haiti, and just so many things going on right now, terrible things. Just prayers for our country. And as far as the Haiti situation, we just got troops back from abroad. So we have other people coming here, migrating, that's going to need help. Afghanistan. Our own troops are going to be in need of job, work, because they won't be deployed until the next time they are. So we have to worry about them. Where are they going to work? What are they going to do for a living? So that's something to think about. Many troops came back. So really we can't afford to have anybody extra coming into our country. As far as 15,000, that's a lot of people. And I don't wish anything bad on those said people or anyone wanting to better themselves. But we do have to take care of our own. We do have to worry about our own. And right now we have Afghans here in the country. And we also have our troops who have returned. And they will need our help. And they will need to be able to take care of themselves, their families, and sustain as well. Home is first. And that should be our main priority right now. Other countries need to rally together to help other said people such as Mexicans, Haitians, other nationalities that are in need, Afghans. It's all the same. It is time for other people to stop relying on us to be the savior. Help your neighboring country. Help them. Stop relying on us to be the savior, because we cannot continue to save everyone, because we have many problems here in America that need our attention, undivided attention. Thank you for joining me. This is Everyday Shenanigans.